Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about General Motors, the automotive industry, and how they need to really wake up. They need to stop acting like they print money and they decide trends in the industry, because they really don't. Money talks, and people will spend money where they think there's value. And GM is just not one of those companies. It came out a little while ago that they are dropping Apple CarPlay and Android Auto out of the vehicles. I feel like people have kind of taken the wrong direction as to why. GM has speculated it's because they cannot have Apple CarPlay running and their navigation system. They can't run multiple systems at once. They would be the first in 20 years that could not multitask. But apparently GM has lost the ability to do what they've been doing anyways, very successfully for almost a decade. 2016, I bought my Camaro, and it had Apple CarPlay, and that was a very important feature to me, to which I have used a lot. I have never connected my phone once to Bluetooth, ever. I I don't even know how to do it. I've just never done it. I plug the cord in, I plug my phone in. The phone usually needs to charge while I'm driving anyways, so it was a win-win. I love Apple CarPlay. I love all my Apple products and my watch and everything and how it all works together. So I'm not buying another phone to not connect it to the car. But I guess GM has decided that if they do it, they will set a trend. I think they are kind of tired of playing catch up or admitting that Apple is doing a better job at software than they are. But they are. So why not let them be the best? And this comes back to, I guess, just their imagery of their brand. When you go buy a sports car, whether it's a Ford, Chrysler, Hyundai, General Motors, Toyota, it does not matter. If you walk in and you're like, I want the sport trim version of this car, and it's like, oh, it comes with Recaro seats, Bose surround sound, Boston audio, Brembo brakes. If it comes with any of these brand names on that vehicle, you are more excited about it. You are not going in to buy a $100,000 Camaro ZL11LE with General Motors performance brakes, General Motors GT performance seat. That is not what you are looking for. You are looking for the best products that do that. Would you buy General Motors tires? No. Companies do what they do really well, and that's why they are the companies that do it. So we leave it to them, and we accumulate the best parts. General Motors builds a good motor. They have built some good transmissions. They've built some half-decent chassis. They've also built some of the worst, but that is kind of their forte. Apple has also come forward with Apple CarPlay in the last update, and in some of the newer, more premium vehicles that have large, vast touchscreens, they will take over the whole thing and essentially remove every aspect of that vehicle and distill it down to what is almost automotive perfection. You have what you need. You have the speed, you have your navigation, you have your music, and it just kind of wipes the slate. And that to me is the best utilization of a large screen. You want to have flexibility and you want to have options. You want to be able to have all your performance data with your big tack and all the things if you're a truck guy, or you want your towing specs if you're a truck guy, or you want your economy specs if you're a high mileage highway user. There are just certain unsung rules that have become absolute across the industry. And GM seems to think that their cars are so good that they are impervious to the consumer's wants and needs, and they will tell you how to do. They will tell you that you don't need a cell phone, or you shouldn't need a cell phone to operate in modern society. That's just not realistic. I kind of feel that their ultimate problem is subscription services. I've had my car 6.5 years. It came with an $800 factory nav option, which I did not want. It was just the only car I could get, and it had it. And I've never paid to update it. I've never paid to do anything with it. I've never used it. I've never subscribed to their OnStar services. I did not even the basic to get remote start from my phone and a few of the different features. I used it a little bit for the first year or two when it was free, and then after that I never used it. I never cared. It just was not a relevant part of my life. My car needs gas, I get gas. My car needs an oil change, I get an oil change. Do I need to open it up on my phone to see where my gas is at? No. Do I need to start it from my phone? Also, no. It has a remote starter. I can start it from 30, 40 feet away and get in it and have a bit of a cold seat. Not the end of the world. But they're watching Disney, they're watching Netflix, they're watching all these companies with all these subscription services and looking at the millions of users and going, well, we're selling millions of cars, especially in the last 10 years. Let's, for argument's sake, say they've sold 10 million cars. I would be utterly shocked if they had 10,000 people subscribing to OnStar at this point. It was a really great feature in like 2002. It was expensive, but it was the only real means to have a safety system built into your vehicle. That's not the case anymore. Apple Watch now detects car crashes, which means you can use it to call first responders, and you don't need a GM vehicle anymore. The problem is that system has been replaced by modern technology, so their solution is remove modern technology so you have to buy and subscribe to their antiquated systems. And I can guarantee you they will have some hefty plans. Even the cell phone plans, LG, 4G, LTE, all this nonsense they put in it, I do not know one person that ever spent one dime on it. I sold cars. I sold General Motors cars as a certified OMVIC salesperson in the province of Ontario, and I never could encourage or promote it to my customers. I would tell them it had it. I would tell them it is available if they would like it, but I could not openly recommend it. Why would I? Call your carrier. For 10, 15 bucks a month, you can probably go from 5 or 10 gig of data to 15 to 20, or you can spend $15 a month on 1 gig. In Canada, it is absurdly expensive and useless. You can't stream on it. And the whole thing was, well, your kids can sit in the back on their iPads and stream. You would be spending $100+ a month for that to even be entertained as an option. For that kind of money, you might as well upgrade your cell phone plans and have unlimited. I have 30 gig unlimited a month for $100. That's my whole cell phone plan on an iPhone 12 Pro. Like, that's the phone, that's the talk, text, unlimited data, 30 gig unlimited, all the things. So why would I spend money through their services? So GM has tried to expand their services, as many have. I know Toyota has subscription services for remote start and all this. Like, they're not getting their piece of the subscription pie, so they are heavily trying to find any means to make that more of a reality, which includes telling you that you don't need or want your cell phone. Makes no sense to me. Feels greedy as hell. And they just seem to think that their cars are so good that if they tell you to leave your cell phone at home, you will. People won't even stop using their cell phone while they drive, and now they're supposed to stop using them in the car at all? I think the automotive industry as a whole is going to go through this whole renaissance period, and things will evolve and change. It's absolutely absurd that any one company thinks they are above the consumer, and they can do that. Tesla not having Apple CarPlay to me is the only thing about Tesla that I absolutely despise. But I digress. Their cars in the electric market are the best. Their charging network's the best. Their user experience is the best. So they have a little bit of an advantage. GM has nothing. They're coming late to the EV market. Their EVs are on par, maybe slightly better than average, but not noteworthy. They're just there. The Hummer's more of a cool look. I have a Hummer than it is a really great electric vehicle. It has a 200 kilowatt battery, weighs like 80 bazillion pounds. From an efficiency standard, you're buying an EV vehicle with the least efficient EV use that has probably ever existed in the EV market, which includes the old EV1. Like, they made it small, light, and looking weird for aerodynamics and practicality, so the batteries lasted longer. Well, we have better batteries now, so they make the vehicle worse to just make a statement. It's awful. God, it's awful. I gotta stop ranting. I'm gonna get really upset. As a GM owner, as a GM fan, I'm very disappointed, and I think I need to switch to Ford. God, that burnt coming out. That was gross. Till next time, drive safe, take care, and behave, as always.